The Tamron 28-75 G2 lens is all that you need for filming weddings. Seriously, we're in an age where it feels like camera lenses keep getting more and more expensive. It really feels like all the camera manufacturers realized they could make mirrorless cameras and charge significantly more for their lenses, and they're doing that. But Tamron is different. They're over here saying, hey, do you want to save some money and still get a great lens? We've got what you need. This is the Tamron 28-75 G2 f2.8 lens, and if you are a wedding filmmaker that is looking for a versatile all-in-one lens that will look great and not break the bank, you need to heavily consider this one. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Tamron 28-75 from the perspective of a wedding filmmaker and telling you if it's a good choice for you if you film weddings. Spoiler, by the way, it is. And also, for the sake of ethics, I want you to know that this video is not paid or sponsored by Tamron, but they did loan me this lens so I could make this review, but I do have to send it back to them very soon. All right, first thing you'll notice about the 28-75 is while this lens is not the smallest, it is definitely one of the most lightweight zoom lenses that I've used in a while at only 540 grams. That doesn't mean that it feels cheap though. Being lightweight can be a good thing, especially if you're trying to balance your lens on a gimbal or if you're filming a wedding all day and you don't want your arms to be completely dead at the end of the night. I love lightweight lenses. In addition, another reason that I think that this lens is lighter is due to the focal length. Keep in mind that traditionally lens companies have chosen to create lenses that are in the 24 to 70 millimeter focal range, whereas this lens is 4 millimeters less wide at 28 millimeters. 4 millimeters may not seem like much, and here's a comparison between 28 millimeters and 24 millimeters, and as you can see, it is a difference, but it's not some massive difference. What's most important about this difference, though, is that the wider a lens is, the more glass that is typically required to make it work well, and more glass adds more weight. Think about it. Sony recently introduced a 20 to 70 millimeter lens, which is significantly wider than this lens. But to keep the weight down, they made that lens an f4 lens. This Tamron, on the other hand, is an f2.8, which means that it lets in significantly more light and will also get much more buttery bokeh as a result. So you're losing a bit on the wide end with this lens, but in return, you're getting a very lightweight setup that is still very good in low light with an f2.8 aperture. It's pretty great. Looking at more features of this lens now, you will see that unlike, say, Sony GM native lenses, for example, there are significantly less switches and buttons to change the settings on this lens. And when I say significantly, I really do mean significantly. There's only one button on this lens that you can program in your camera settings and one USB-C port that you can use to customize the lens settings using Tamron software. There's no autofocus manual focus switch, there's no zoom lock, there's no manual aperture control ring. This lens is stripped down and basic. It actually reminds me of the early Sony Zeiss lenses where you were lucky if they even had anything on them either. Thankfully, with modern Sony cameras, you don't really need switches on your lenses. If you follow my setup guides for the a7S III and FX3, for example, you can change between autofocus and manual focus with a single button press on your camera. There's no need to have a switch on the lens. So you can definitely say that the Tamron 28-75 is very simplified, but I don't think that's a bad thing. For one, it definitely helps keep the price down, which we will talk about in a little bit. And honestly, whether a lens has extra features and switches doesn't really matter very much, where at the end of the day, what's important is how a lens looks. So I do not speak lightly whenever I say I'm very happy with the footage that I filmed with this lens, and it looks really good. To be clear, I'm still a die-hard prime lens fanboy, but I think that you will still be very happy with the sharpness of this lens because it's quite good, especially for a zoom. I'm also happy to tell you that while this is not a Sony branded lens, Tamron's autofocus performance is very quick and responsive. And when I tested it, I didn't experience the lens hunting or searching for focus. It locked on with my a7S III and worked great. Focus breathing was also kept pretty well in control, so if you're someone that films talking heads on a tripod, this lens should work very well for that too. Now, I know I said earlier we would talk about the price, and that is where this lens gets especially compelling, because remember how at the start of this video I said that it feels like lenses are just getting more and more expensive? Yes, in an age where it's not uncommon to see lenses that cost easily $1,000 to $2,000 plus, at the time of making this video, this Tamron 28-75 retails for $900, but I've seen it on sale for even cheaper than that. So here's the deal. I am typically someone that uses prime lenses to film weddings because I love having a very shallow depth of field, and I usually film weddings with my wife, which means that we're usually using two lenses at the same time at two different focal lengths, so we never miss a moment. But if you are a brand new wedding filmmaker and you're just getting started and looking to buy a lens, I don't think that a prime lens is necessarily the best choice for you, especially if you have a full frame camera. In your case, as a solo filmmaker, you're going to need to film quickly, and you don't want to miss a moment because you're busy changing a lens, which is a great argument why you should consider investing in a zoom lens. And here comes Tamron, with a lens that is significantly less investment than their competition, but still gives you a ton of quality and versatility. In short, I am incredibly impressed by the Tamron 28-75, and if you are looking for an all-in-one lens that you can use to film weddings for a great price, I think you'll be very happy with it. I'll link down below to this lens if you want to check it out, and I will also link to my 20-70mm Sony lens review if you're looking for something that's still incredibly versatile but gets even wider. And also, if you like the colors in this video and you want these colors regardless of whether you're filming with a Tamron lens or any other lens or camera for that matter, I will link down below to my color presets, which will help you get these colors in as little as one click. Also down below, I'm going to link to my YouTube tips for wedding filmmakers guide. If you are a wedding filmmaker, which considering this is a review of this lens for wedding filmmakers, you might be, then I would love to help you get more views and bookings for your wedding films on YouTube. This guide is completely free and you can download it, link down in the video description. Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and have a great day.